A peace plan for God.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the trading show here at Sin City Crypto. Let's go. Man, I'm excited. My voice is excited. Well, my voice is not excited, but I am excited. Let me just pull up the live show here real quick. See if we can scalp some shorts. Those of you that are here for the morning show, welcome back. All right. We're going to take a look at some charts. We're going to see if we can scalp some shorts, make some money. Zcash is an interesting one. Let's take a look at Zcash. I've said this on the show, and I know I keep saying that I've said this on the show. Oh, let's take a look at Minotaur real quick. I think Minotaur just bought more Bitcoin. It did. It bought more BTC for me at $96,300. So prior to this, it was a while since it bought some. And I would have to go back a lot because this is on the 5-minute time frame. But my take profit was at 117K. But with this new buy, it moved the TP down to 111, which I know still seems a long ways away. But when we got into this buy, we started working with these guys. The goal all along was to do this on a very long time horizon. We're talking a minimum 2 years. I say very long and means in terms of crypto, very long. I know 2 years is not very long, but in crypto, it's like a decade. So, yeah, bought some. When was this? I'll tell you exact. This was this morning at 6:50 a.m. Pacific time, which brings our average buy down to around 108,849. That is our average buy. And so shout out to Minotaur. It's a great bot, man. Anyways, Zcash. I want to look at the daily on Zcash. Just a massive explosion. Let's clean up the chart here a little bit. Let's get rid of market cipher A. And guys, excuse my voice. I've been yelling and screaming a lot lately. Not giving my voice enough time to heal. Let me clean up the chart here just a little bit. We'll get rid of those. We'll keep our fib retracement. So guys, I love fibs. You know, I've been talking to my nephew. He's getting into trading. The kid's pretty fucking good, man. I was like, hey, last night I was driving. Yesterday I was driving. I was like, hey, do me a favor. Look at the aerodrome chart and give me a synopsis. And it's pretty good. So I was like, look, you keep this up, man. I'm going to have to bring you on the show. Kid knows what he's doing. Anyways, Zcash, we drew our fib down here from 72.84 up to our high of 742. And these 50% fib retracement bounces are absolute money, guys. This was an easy one because we consolidated here and then we got a bounce on the 50. Not precisely to the exact dollar amount, which was 407.53. Did get to a low of 423.39. But if you would have bought at this area, we're talking a 37% move while the rest of the markets are bleeding. Absolutely bleeding. Looks like Starknet's about to make a run too. Let's take a look at Starknet. STRK. Coinbase. I want to do Coinbase Spot. Coinbase Spot. There we go. Starknet US dollar, 17.2 cents. This is the daily time frame. I want my VRVP to load. There it is. Seeing a bounce at the high volume level here at around 13.1 cents. Now, it's very obvious. What's running right now is Privacy and ZK. Okay? Starknet, Zcash, Dash, Railgun's running, although Railgun's not available on Coinbase. If you're part of our Patreon, you would have gotten an entry on Railgun. And a few other ones. I think Mino was running this morning a little bit. It did pull back. I did say, though, and I want to show a post here on X. I did say be careful. Right? Everyone is waiting, right? People bought high. Everything crashed. They didn't want to sell out at too big of a loss. So the pumps we're seeing now, the initial pumps, just be careful. There's going to be people that take profits. There's going to be people that were trapped underwater. They're waiting for that pump and they're going to sell. If that initial sell-off, if it can withstand it, whether it's Zcash or any other altcoin, and it comes back to a deep liquidity level, at that point I feel comfortable longing. But for the time being, I think shorting is the way to go. For the most part, outside of privacy and zero knowledge meta plays. Once that happens, you can sell it for a few weeks and select project will start grinding higher in 2026. All right. Starknet. Just kind of taking a look, seeing a nice bounce of momentum here on the daily time frame. Let's go down the 4 hour. Really good bounce on the 4 hour. Also, inverse head and shoulders on the momentum waves. Should get a push to the upside. How much higher will it go? I don't know. I don't foresee it taking this high here on the momentum indicator, or excuse me, on the momentum wave. Let's look at price action. Maybe head and shoulders on the 4 hour. It's going to take a little while to play out, though. If it does, you know, I'm more open to this versus a long here, right? This measured move would take us down to 6.6 cents. I don't know if that's going to happen. Starknet's been on fire. It's an ETH layer 2 play. ZK, right? Privacy, zero knowledge. But this is kind of the setup we're watching on the 4 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Little bit of a bull flag here on the 1 hour. A bull flag, bull pennant, whatever you want to call it. Let's expand this out. Let's see how deep this retracement can go. We could potentially find a long here. Let me drag this over, make it look a little nicer. That looks good. Yes, beautiful. We love it. This looks pretty bad. I got ADD, so please just bear with me here. Okay, let's draw our fib. Where, oh, where can this go? So right now we're currently below the 236. Let's go ahead and add our 382 here. We replaced the 382. Let's go 0.382. Our 382 is 16.5 cents. We've already tapped that on a wick on this candle here. Remember, these are 1 hour candles. This was early this morning at 8 a.m. Pacific. Let's go ahead and get rid of the 236. We'll keep the 382. So my bet is if this does play out, we come back, we kind of chop, we test the top end of this region again. That's probably more like this. Come back, get rejected here around 17.6, trickle down until we get to that 382 level, which is at 16.5 cents. And that measured move to the upside on the hourly time frame is from our 382. If I drop this down, it's a pretty big move, my friends. This thing is at 20.9. We'll call it 21 cents even. And it's not anything that I'm comfortable putting a limit long order in at that 382 level, but it is something I'm willing to take if Zcash is maybe not at all-time highs, but it's holding up fairly well relative to the rest of the altcoins. Even if Bitcoin is sideways or trickling down, I'm fine. If Bitcoin is crashing and it's below like 88K, then a different story. But it's a wait and see for me. I think this is going to grind down a little bit more. We're talking, I don't know if we do make it out here. Talking about this afternoon at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Pacific this afternoon. So another 4 hours and 10 minutes. If this thing does play out to the kind of the very end of this pattern here, I'd look for a long if we get a nice bounce. Big liquidity level here as well, where price is currently. And that is at 17 cents even. So one thing to keep in mind, narrative driven, and the chart looks good on the 1 hour time frame. Let's look at market cipher B on the 1 hour. Red dot, but we're getting a nice bounce on momentum. Money flow looks like it's spanning to the upside. And VWAP is kind of sitting flat. Let me clean up this here. This is good. Putting in higher lows on the momentum waves to the downside. Higher highs, momentum waves to the upside. That's a very ugly line there, but that's okay. That's on the hour time frame. Let's look at the half hour. Half hour is filling out nicely. 15 minute. Same with the 15. Is this 15? See if I can find any. See if I can find any gaps. Okay, so there's one gap down here, 16.2 to 16.6 cents. I don't know if we'll get down there. Maybe we'll. A little bit of confluence here with this large order block. Should be a big bounce area here, which it was. I'll drop a horizontal so you guys can see. This blue line, I would be favorable to opening along here on this 16.7 cents. And if you're looking at scalping, that's a 5% scalp to the top end of our bull pennant here. So, yeah. All right. I'm just going to take a peek at the chat real quick. Let me pop this out. Pop out chat. What are you guys saying here? Mohammed, Zcash to zero. Mr. Kennedy said, at this point, scalping Zcash is the only thing keeping my leverage account alive. Lose 300, make 400 back on Zcash. Hey, man, whatever works for you, bro. Sometimes it's like there's just a chart where you are just comfortable trading. You know the ranges. You know the reactions at certain levels. And just trade it, bro. If it works for you, make money. Great, man. Is altcoin season over? Thank you. For 90% of alts, yes, it's been over. For the other 10%, no. I think they can still make all-time highs. I think BitTensor is one of them. In fact, let's look at a BitTensor chart. Nice V-shaped recovery on the 15-minute here. This is what you want to see. You took out this low, you took out this low, you took out this high, you came back, retested. Got a gap down here, though. This gap is 322 to 326 on BitTensor. Remember, this is super low time frame. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let me clean up the chart here on the 1 hour. This is actually a very good sign. So you can see here, I'll zoom in so you guys can see the chart. This bordered box around the wick, that is Lux Algo telling you that there was a large liquidity grab from when price went up to 339. Typically, when you see these large liquidity grabs that happen to the upside, let me try to find one for you guys that happened towards the top of a rally here. Okay, here's a great example. Large liquidity grab to the upside, price just trickles down, right? And here on the 1 hour, as it loads, come on and load. Oh, did it go away? There we go. When we had this large liquidity grab, not only did price not go down, but it printed a green candle the very next one. BitTensor is on a run right now with volume increasing. This is on the 1 hour time frame. Momentum looks great. Beautiful V-shaped recovery on the momentum waves. The momentum indicators, the RSI, stochastics, they all look great. VWAP expansion to the upside. Money flow is still flat. We do expect that. It's kind of trailing behind the rest of these indicators. But we do expect this thing to sharp turn and go back to the upside. Man, BitTensor looks good. BitTensor looks really, really good. If you bought the lows here at 315, my God. You're up 10% on a scalp. Now, what's the next level to look at here? Well, the first one is going to be your large liquidity level here, which is right where your previous week low was. So we'll see if we can flip that to support. 351.13 is a level that I'm looking at. Montana said, I can't even afford free napkins. I got you some napkins, bro. I got them from Taco Bell last night. And then a large order block down up here as well, along with a little confluence with their equilibrium zone. This is with Lux Algo. Let's go ahead and remove this. And let's draw. Let's get rid of that. Oh, look at that. Falling wedge, falling channel has officially broken. Now, the candle is not closed, so this can very well reverse. So just keep that in mind. If you try to front run this move, I'd be more keen on waiting for a retest confirmation, a retest bounce. Right? Something like come up here, maybe test this area down here before that big sharp drop. Come back, retest. We have some confluence here, trend line, large volume level, 335.15. Let me check my text real quick. Cool. My kids got a soccer tournament this weekend in Utah. Please wish them good luck. Thank you. Love you. AMC said, I purchased 437,000 Tau at 344. God damn, bro. Let's do the math on that. That's a lot. I mean, I don't know if you're trolling here, dude, but he said he bought 437,000 BitTensor at 344.66. Yeah, bro, you're telling me you bought $150 million worth of Tau? Okay, cool. I don't buy it, but okay. I don't know. I feel like if you got anyways, if you did, congrats. Good job. I don't believe you. Let's look at the crypto bubbles. What the fuck is this soon? How about no? Dash, Zcash, Starknet, Injective, Syrup, Lido, Aster is up. On the day, Aave down, IP down. Everything else is kind of flat. On the hour, we're not looking at the go away. ICP up 4.7% on the hour. Everything's up on the hour. Where's Bitcoin? 95.6. Let's look at a Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin on the 1 hour. I want to go 4 hour. Ooh. Got the double green dot on market cipher B on the 4 hour time frame. Is pretty good. Nice bounce on momentum here. Right? VWAP. Excuse me, not VWAP. RSI and stochastics. That looks good. If this holds, this will be good. We'll see if money flow can get above green. VWAP just crossed over into bullish territory. That's good. We're still red though. Let's look at RSI. You know what? First, let's look at RSI. Let me move this sucker up here. Well, some bullish divergence here on the 4 hour for Bitcoin. You know, maybe Forrest was right. Maybe we get a bounce here at 95.7. If we do get a bounce on 95.7, we're going to draw our reverse Fibonacci. Let's actually take this up here. Okay. Let's plot out some levels. Okay, so the 382, beautiful. That's 106,416. These are big numbers. 50 is 110, and your goal pocket is 113.8 to 114. Damn. Okay, fine. Let's just take this move then. Jesus. Let's add in our 236. Okay, this is a good one. 236 is at 99,466. Wick bounce, failure. So expecting this to be resistance on the way up, okay? So if you're going to scalp along on Bitcoin here at 95 or sub 95K, I would exit your position before you get to 99.3, okay? Now, if it continues, yes, you'll leave some money on the table. But guess what? If it reverses and gets rejected, which I believe it will, unless just the macro has changed overall, then I think it's a it's a risk you should be willing to take, right? Get in on a long here, scalp a Bitcoin long. If you're patient, you want to come back and retest this trend line, 94.6, get into a BTC long and exit before you hit 99 for a 5% scalp. Not too bad, right? If you're entering with any sort of size, 5% on 10K, that's $500. Could make a quick 1,000 on a $20,000 bankroll. Or if you have a less margin, just go higher leverage, have a tight stop loss. And you should make some good money there. That's BTC. That's the 4 hour. I want to look at the 15 minute. Let's go super low time frame here. Beware of a potential bear flag on the 15-minute time frame. You might get your entry at that 94.6. Right, this measured move would take us down to 93.231. Now, measured moves don't mean that they have to go to exactly where it's going. But just one thing to keep in mind, that would be your measured move. But I think we'll catch a bit here at 94.6. As Forrest said, but if 94.6, 94 gets lost, we're probably going down to the low 90s, maybe even sub 90s. That's just one thing to keep in mind, guys. I just prepare your brain for any best case scenario, worst case scenario, and just be prepared. Okay. I'm like, just want to. What can I get into a position here? Starknet is running. Look at that. We didn't even get that retest. Are we going to see volume follow through? Oh, look at that. Market cipher strikes again. Anchor, trigger. Since trigger wave, price is already up 4.5%. No, I did not trade Sweet. Tibber. Yes, I still hold Tibber. Guys, I have not sold a single token. So those of you that are in my Patreon, what I've been shilling you, I've not sold a single token. I've not. And the stuff I give you guys is you want to understand one thing. My brain immediately, always in any scenario, goes to worst case. What's the worst case and am I ready for it? I like to be prepared. So when I tell you guys I'm buying this or I like this or I don't like that, I'll be wrong sometimes, yes. Okay, if the thesis fails, I'll be wrong. But the ones that I have high conviction in, the Tibber, the Wire, the BitTensor, the Virtuals, a few other ones, I'm holding and I believe that they can perform well even if the markets are overall down. So, but back to Starknet, this thing is going to run. So, okay, 15 minutes running. Let's look at some resistance levels. I mean, this is the daily, so this is a super high time frame. If we can get above this box, guys, and I'll drop the volume here so you can see. If we can get above the top end of this box, 20 cents, There is nothing. It is literally a ghost town. It is a ghost town until you get to like 40 cents. Okay? Look at price action in this region. And I'll box this out too. It was a free fall, my friends. It was a complete free fall. So on the way up, right? The idea of this is there's really no one stuck in longs here. Okay? There's really no one stuck in longs here. They all got liquidated. So this is going to be a free ride. Okay? Now, of course, these are probabilities. It'll be a free ride if we can clear that 20 cent level. You might catch a little bit of sell bids at around here. Okay? Once you clear 25 cents, it is a free ride to 37 cents. It'll be the roller coaster that doesn't stop. It'll be a 50% free ride. Okay? So if you want a high conviction long, of course, other things considered, right? People just listen to some parts of what you say. They don't pay attention to the others. If there is a break above and you want a high conviction trade and you have the patience to wait, if we can clear 25 cents, you can take a 50% scalp. I feel fairly confident. And so, yeah. Starknet looks good. ZK looks good. Oh, Mina. That's what I'm going to look at. Let's look at Mina. Rob made a lot of money on Mina. We all have our one coin that we've just nailed on the trades. And let's go here. Mina protocol daily. Let's see if we can catch a fib bounce here. Okay, so Mina's currently trying to retake its gold pocket on the daily time frame. It needs to get above 14 cents. It made a push above it, and you can see it got stopped exactly at that 618 level, almost exactly to a T. It wicked above by micro pennies. Okay. If you can get above that, you're talking about the next level being the 50. That's a 14% scalp. And then really we're trying to push back to that 21 cent level. This is on the daily time frame. This is where all the volume for Mina has been happening, right here. Okay. This box right here. And again, not as big a ghost town as we saw with Starknet. You might catch some bids at some short bids at 25 cents. But if the ZK narrative continues, this is another free ride up to like 35 cents. I'll drop a flag. 35.4 cents. Yeah. Aerodrome. Aerodrome. I was trying to trade Aerodrome the other day. I got stopped out. Aerodrome ran very hot. Let's clean this chart here. What they call this, a megaphone. This would be a good long, guys. Yeah, this is on the daily too, man. This looks good. This looks really good. Let me check market cipher. Make sure we're not missing here or anything. Ooh, we did get a red X on the daily, but that's a daily and it hasn't closed yet. So it could very well just go away. Let's look at market cipher. All right, let's look at 12 hour. 12 hours catching a bid here. Did put in, if it holds, it would have put in a higher low, which is good. And the gap until we get to our next big volume level is a 32% gap. This is good. You know what? I think I'm going to actually... I kind of want to get into an aerodrome trade right now. RSI starting to recover on the 12-hour on market cipher B. Let's go to the 4. Green dot on the 4. Last candle. Nice rounding out bottom here. Yeah, I want to long this thing, man. Let's go and long this thing. I want to convert. Where is aerodrome? Yeah, guys, I feel comfortable longing aerodrome here, and I would be taking profits at around 97.7 cents. That's your largest volume node. That's where price kind of chopped and fell, chopped, rose, and fell through. So that's a nice 13% spread. So yeah, I'm long aerodrome. Why do I keep getting text? Text me when you taxi out. Ah, man, my voice is so effed, bro. All right. I'll leave you with the aerodrome long. I'm longing here at 85.7. I'm getting out before we hit this level. 97. Ooh, 97771. If this works out, awesome. We'll make some money. If it doesn't, make sure you have your stop loss. I would have a very, very tight stop loss, in fact. I would have my stop loss right at around 84.6 cents. Because if we get a rejection, which we're actually getting a rejection now, okay? So maybe the better play, and I'm thinking out loud here, my friends, maybe the better play is to wait until we come back and retest again. A little sub 80 cents. I don't know. You want to front run this thing? Go ahead. I'll probably do a little more analysis after I get off the show. But anyways, guys, I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you guys have a lovely weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday for the AM show. Until then, peace.